Guys, we have got some awesome cards to look at today, including some amazing and beautiful promos, along with some reserve list cards. Let's talk about it. Happy Saturday to you all, and welcome to week number 4 of our collection update series. Now, in the last episode of this set, we did talk about the binder challenge, whereas we will be filling out a 480 card 12 pocket binder over the course of however long it takes to get some awesome new cards to talk about for this series. Now, as part of that, I invited all of you to join me in this quest. We're going to be filling out binders together, hopefully collecting some amazing cards together, and just having some fun, sharing some stories about the collection side of Magic the Gathering, and push a little bit away from that gameplay side. Collecting really is near and dear to my heart. I've been doing this for years, since I was just a little kid, and so this series is really just at the heart of Magic, something that's really important to me and something I'm really happy to share with you guys. Now, again, I don't want to take up too much time in the intro here. We're going to jump into the cards very, very quickly, but please, if you have picked up any awesome cards this week, feel free to share it in the comment section below. Where did you find it? Why did you pick it up? Is it for a deck? Is it just a card that you wanted to collect? Feel free to let me know in the comment section below. I really do enjoy hearing your stories. We've already had a couple people share from last week, and I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear more of your stories. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead. Let's jump into the 12 new cards, a full page of new cards for our binder that we picked up this week. All right, guys, so like I said, we have picked up some awesome new promos and even a reserve list card. We've also just got some really basic but really cool cards that I can't wait to show you, and that's actually where we will start. So I'm going to kind of start in reverse order. So we're going to talk about some of the cards that aren't necessarily super high value, but just really cool cards. First of which, we have got Ajani Unyielding. This is the Aether Revolt Planeswalker version of Ajani. Absolutely love this card. It's not really a high value card, to be honest, but truthfully, I'm only missing a few cards from Aether Revolt. And so I thought I'd go ahead and pick this up. Surprisingly, never picked it up. After having opened like a lot of boxes of Aether Revolt, I thought I would have, but I didn't. And so this was an easy pickup. It was just helping to finish out the set. I do have a few more cards to go, so we're probably not going to get there or anytime soon, because I'm kind of just doing these randomly. It's a little more fun that way. But I do love picking up Planeswalkers. I'm always a big fan of the older ones. I say older ones. This isn't super old, but I guess for nowadays it's a little bit older. So beautiful card, absolutely stunning art. Love the green white Ajani as well, just really, really cool. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 is actually another green white card. We've got Novablast Wurm. Now, this is kind of an odd card because it was a bit random. Like I said, a lot of the time what I do is I go to scryfall.com, I click on the random card, see what we get, and it just happened to be a Novablast Wurm, and I was like, you know what? That's a cool card. I really, really like that. And so I decided to go ahead and pick it up, add to the binder collection. I don't believe I have one of these. This is the first one. And honestly, the ability is really powerful. Whenever it attacks, destroy all other creatures. I have to imagine that's a really good card, especially in, particular formats and things like that. But obviously a little more on the expensive side. 3, 2 green, and 2 white. That's a lot, but it is a 7/7 as well. So all in all, just a really pretty card, honestly. I really love the artwork. It's got that energy blast kind of encircled by this worm, but I really love that. It's an absolutely stunning card. And again, just a happy one to add to the collection. I really, really love this. So happy to have it. And our final, just basic card here is actually Visions. Now, this is an old card, all the way back to Legends. This has been reprinted a couple times, but this is definitely the highest value version of the card. I believe it's just a common from Legends. It's not really anything in particular that really caught my eye about it, aside from the artwork. I really thought the artwork was very beautiful, and I do love anytime an old school like Legends or Alliances card pops up with any real value. I do like to kind of try and pick those up just because they're pretty cards, they're old cards, they're not something you get to see every day. But this, for 1 mana sorcery, you can look at the top 5 cards of any library and then choose to shuffle that library if you so choose. Don't think this card sees much play, but it is just a really beautiful card. And again, I love picking up old school cards. This is not the only old card that we will see in today's video, but really one of the more beautiful ones, and happy to have this as well too, the binder here. All right, guys, next up, we are going through the promos of this page. We have got quite a few, the first of which is actually an IDW Comics promo, and it's Ogre Arsonist. It's a 3/3 for 5. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target land. Any land destruction players out there will love this card. You can bounce it. You can do some awesome stuff to hopefully regain that ability. But truthfully, I love picking up the IDW comic promos. I've got a handful of them, including things like Turnabout, which is just an absolutely stunning card. But this is one that I didn't actually know they made. Again, that came up randomly, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm definitely going to get that. And so, not a super crazy expensive card or anything like that, but unique. It's not something you get to see every day. The IDW stuff you really don't get to see very much at all, at least in my view. There's not that many of them, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's kind of cool to see this here. Again, not super valuable, just a cool card and just a great addition to the binder. Next up, guys, we have got a beautiful Zhalfirin Void. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is actually just a really beautiful land. Obviously a foil from Dominaria, a promo from the set. When it enters the battlefield, you scry 1, and then it taps for a generic mana. Obviously doesn't see a ton of play. However, it does get to a little bit of play in the like mono brown decks, artifact heavy decks. Even Eldrazi kind of style stuff can utilize this as a scry ability, so it just fixes the top of your deck. So a little bit of a utility land in my opinion, but more importantly, this artwork. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely stunning. Again, I'm a big sucker for good artwork on cards, which is a lot of the reason I collect promos, because I just think they're really pretty. And so this really fits the bill. Not a super valuable card at all. I actually picked up 4 of these, but I'm only including 1 in the binder so we don't get any duplicates. But they were cheap, and I was like, hey, might as well pick up a playset of these, because again, if I happen to use these in a deck, I definitely want this version. Just an absolutely stunning card. I do love the set symbol here as well. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Again, just another reason why promos really stick out to me as unique and beautiful cards. They've got foils, they've got beautiful artwork, they've got a lot of times a little stamp in the text box. I can't not love them, you know what I mean? And so happy to have a playset of these and a great addition to the binder as well. Next up, another foil promo from Innistrad. We've got Ludevic's Test Subject, which is a really interesting card. I tried to make this card work a long time ago when I first started playing for real with some of my friends. It was a 0/3 for 2 defender. Pay 2, put a hatchling counter on it, then if there are 5 or more hatchling counters on it, remove them and transform it. And on the transformed side, I'll go ahead and show you, we do have a 13/13 Ludevic's Abomination with Trample. It sort of reminded me of Delver of Secrets before I knew Delver of Secrets was good. And so this was just a really powerful card, a really beautiful card, and this artwork really stood out to me. And it really is this backside, the Ludevic's Abomination, that stuck out more than anything. I just think that's such a menacing piece of artwork, and I love the color gradient where you get sort of a lighter side coming from this corner, and it just comes all the way down to this black side of the bottom right. Just a beautiful card, a huge, massive card as well. A 13/13 with Trample is pretty awesome, but it's not very good. Obviously, this is a cheap promo. But again, I think this is a testament to not necessarily having to have the most valuable cards in your collection. I think you can just enjoy the basic cards that you have, even if they're simple, even if they're cheap, even if they're, you know, not even that playable. It's just a cool card. And I think when it comes to collecting, that's the most important thing. You don't have to worry about it. It's your collection. Do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. And this is a great testament to that. Next up, we talked about Wrath of God last week. This week, we have got Rampant Growth as the textless game day promo. This one is not foil like the Wrath of God. However, it is just an absolutely stunning card. I said it before. I love these textless like game day promos. Not something they do like at all anymore. But they're just really unique and they're really awesome, and a lot of them do hold at least a little bit of value. Rampant Growth is not anywhere close to Wrath of God, of course, but Rampant Growth is a nice little ramp card. It gives you that land, and I really like that. And so this was kind of a cool one to pick up. Not a ton to say about it. I'm not a big green player, and so I don't anticipate using this anytime soon. But again, for the collection, I love these textless game day promos. They're just so cool, so unique, so beautiful. And they feature, again, my favorite part of the card, which is just the artwork. I love that. And you notice that a lot of times with our digital altars as well. I focus so heavily on the artwork and not so much on the utilitarian side, the text side of it. I don't really care about that. I can look up the card. And so I'm more interested in just the beautiful artwork and the beautiful card. And this certainly fits that bill as well. So very happy to have it. All right, next up, we have got a beautiful Silver Knight FNM promo by DCI. I love these FNM promos specifically because of the stamp in the text box. I just think that's so cool. And again, that foil promo is always a fun fact to, or a fun little thing to add to the collection as well. But not a ton to say about this one, if I'm honest. I mean, it's a cool little 2/2. It's a 2/2 for 2 with First Strike and Pro Reds. So there is actually some benefit to it in like a sideboard or something if you're trying to go that route. But it's not really like a competitive card or anything crazy like that. The value of this really comes from just the fact that it's a beautiful promo and that it's a cool card. I think it's a really cool old school, arcing back to the old school days of Magic where Silver Knight was kind of an interesting card, you know, and we don't see a lot of this kind of stuff anymore. Protection from colors isn't something we see a ton of anymore. And so it's just unique. Again, not a ton of value, just a pretty card. Happy to have this here. And yeah, it's a great addition. Next up, a card that I actually do occasionally throw into decks is Forbidden Alchemy. It's an instant for 2 and a blue. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard, and then you can flash this back for 6 and a black. A lot of times I pick cards up like this for cube. And the reason I say that is because I love building cubes. Cube drafting is my favorite format in Magic. And the fun part about this is it's so flexible. If you happen to be playing just like a basic control deck, this gives you outs to doing a lot of stuff. It's instant speed. You can play it in that. Alternatively, in like a reanimator strategy, it gives you a lot of graveyard fodder, and so there are opportunities for you to fill your graveyard with it. And so this actually does have some use, at least in cube draft, to be a really unique card. And I love the promo version of this one. I've had a number of other versions of this card, but this is by far the most beautiful. And again, that foil stamp, especially in the text box, is just stunning. Really, really glad I was able to pick this one up because for the cube, which I do anticipate on creating again, it's been a long time, but I would like to put it back together. This is definitely an upgrade for that. So great to have that here, and great to add that to the cube. Finally, we're coming to a couple of our higher value promos, we'll say. They're not necessarily like crazy expensive, but they are really, really cool. Our first one is an Everflowing Chalice FNM promo. The artwork on this, guys, I had to get this. I love the dynamic artwork. These energy fluxes that are just flowing around the chalice and out of the chalice are absolutely stunning. This is a card also that, I mean, it does see some play. You see this in particular decks. In particular, I would imagine Commander, although I don't play much Commander. This is something that I would like to start playing. And so I was actually really excited to pick this up because it does allow me to have a beautiful version of the card for my future Commander deck that I anticipate to build. I was talking to the Commander crew the other day, who is a fellow content creator. Great job on their Commander content there. And I was really happy to talk with them, and they were encouraging me to try Commander a little bit. And so that is something I anticipate doing. And again, just really cool to have these unique additions of these really powerful cards. I mean, again, ramping as heavily as Everflowing Chalice can do is pretty awesome. And so I'm very happy to have it. Very beautiful card. And again, just a great addition, hopefully, to the Commander decks that I plan to build in the near future. Our last promo of the day is perhaps our most exciting, in my opinion, and truthfully just one of the highest value cards we have picked up this week, and that is Hanna Ship's Navigator, the Judge Foil promo. 1/2 for 1, a white and a blue. You can tap that same amount of mana, tap it, and return target artifact or enchantment card from the graveyard to your hand. This gives you so much recursion, so much possibility. And honestly, just talking about Commander, this is one of the commanders I would not mind building. I think allowing that recursion and working with other cards could be really, really powerful. And so this is something I'm interested in trying out. I do love artifact enchantment strategies. That's just something I've always enjoyed. Zur the Enchanter is another one of my favorites. Hint, hint, wink, wink. We might have a Zur coming for next week, but this is truthfully just a really beautiful card. The artwork here by Teresa Nielsen, absolutely stunning. I mean, just look at that beautiful detail in every little aspect of this card. Just truly a stunning one. And again, that's one of the highest value things, in my opinion, for a collection is the actual artwork itself. And this really, really fits that perfectly. So beautiful card, beautiful value long-term as well. Judge Foil promos tend to be pretty good. And so really happy to get this one. This is just a stunning card. And finally, guys, we do have one card from the reserved list, and that is Lord of Tresserhorn. We should be seeing a lot more reserved list cards come in, some of them with good value, some of them not. This one has a little bit of value, but it is just a really unique card and a very cool old card from Alliances, a 10-4. 10-4. Back in those days, that's insane. For 1 plus Grixis, and when it comes into play, pay 2 life and sacrifice 2 creatures. Target opponent draws 2 cards. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this life loss. And then it does have the regenerate ability, which is interesting. Truthfully, this card doesn't seem very good to me in any real capacity. I'm sure there are ways you can mitigate that ability, in which case it does seem very good. 4 mana 10-4 seems great. However, in general, I don't think this is a card that's going to see any play anytime soon. It's just a card for me that I really thought was unique. I love picking up reserve list cards when they come up randomly on the Scryfall count. And so it's one of those things where if I see it and I can't afford it, generally I will go for it. Lord of Tresserhorn was certainly one of those cards, and I do love the old school legends. I'm a big fan of the old school multicolor frame in particular. So you see this kind of gold mucky looking frame. I really like that frame, weirdly. I don't know why, and so it's really kind of just a blast from the past for me and a beautiful card to have. I do love picking up reserve list stuff. It's always something that I try to do if I can, and again, this really fit that. So great card to add to the collection, and that's our last card, guys. That is it. Let's talk about this collection update. All right, guys, another week and another 12 cards added to the binder. We should have a completion aspect as well as the full total of the binder so far up on the screen for you guys. That way you can check out all the details as we progress through page by page what we are doing here today. But these were absolutely stunning cards. Again, as we go through, they're not all high value cards. Some of them certainly have some value, and that's really awesome. Reserve list cards are always going to hopefully hold a little bit of value. Judge Foil promos, very unique, very happy to have that. But some of those are just promos or random cards that I really liked or completed a set or hopefully got us a little bit closer. And I think that's really the beauty of collecting. I think if you are a collector out there, you might collect for the artwork, in which case there are tons of very beautiful but very undervalued cards that you could pick up, and that's unique to you. And I think that's phenomenal. That's what I want to celebrate here with this series, is everybody's unique collection and unique style of collecting. I hope you guys will share your latest pickups with me down below in the comment section. Would really love to hear what you guys have to say and what you guys have picked up, and your stories are really special, and so everybody needs to share that, I think, here. Guys, again, I just want to say a huge thank you for participating in this collection series with me. It's a really, really special treat to do this with you guys, and I really hope that you enjoy it. I think it's a really special time. I hope it's a good weekend video for you all, and thank you again for watching. I will see you guys next week for some more collection updates. We have already got a handful of cards in. We're trying to stay ahead of it because we got a lot of stuff going on, but it's going to be a really awesome week, so do look forward to that. I'll see you guys then.